Good morning everyone. I am Apeksha, Assistant Professor at Indraprasth Law College. So today's topic is right to equality, which is which is given under Article 14 under Part 3rd of the Constitution. So what Article 14 says? It states that the state shall not deny to any person equality before law or the equal protection of the laws within the territory of India. So this article is divided into two parts. In the very first, it commands the state not to deny to any person equality before law. It also commands the state not to deny the equal protection of laws. So there is this Article 14 clause 1 which talks about equality before law, and then Article 14 clause 2 which talks about equal protection of laws. Now we will understand both of these meaning, equality before law and the equal protection of laws, right? So this means that every person who lives within the territory of India has the equal right before the law, and that equals will be treated equally. Here moving on to the both of this concept. So as the article is divided into this two part, equality before law and the equal protection of law. Now this equality before law prohibits the discrimination, so it is a negative concept. And equal protection of law, it requires the state to give some special treatment to person in different situations in order to establish the equality among all. So it is in positive character. Although they both sound similar, they don't mean the same. The word law in the former expression is used in genuine sense, a philosophical sense, whereas the word laws in the later expression denotes specific laws in force. Basically, equality before law, it's much of a generic concept. This is specific. Equal protection of law is specific. Now, equality before law talks about equal subjection of all citizens, rich or poor, high or low, officials or non-officials, to the ordinary law of the land administered by the ordinary law courts, and is a negative concept as it implies the absence of any privilege in favor of any individual and equal subjection of all classes to the ordinary law. So this is generic in nature as it talks about the equal subjection of all the citizens to the ordinary law of the land, whether they are rich, poor, high, low, official or non-official, anybody, it doesn't matter, right? Whereas equal protection of law is much of a positive concept. How? As it implies the equality of the treatment in equal circumstances, both in privileges and privileges conferred and liabilities which are imposed. Now they are how this would be determined. This is given by these two tests of, we will do it, intelligible differentia and rational relation. Now this was given under State of Bombay versus FN Balsara case. These two tests, just write it because this is important, given under FN Balsara case. Just see this, FN okay, do it, FN Balsara. Now, Professor Dicey has also explained the concept of legal equality. He said, with us, every official from the Prime Minister down to constable or a collector of taxes is under the same responsibility for every act done without any legal justification as any other citizen. So he also talks about equality before law, right? So, equality before the law means the equality among equals. The law should be equal for all and should be equally administered. Whereas equal protection of law, which is a concept taken from US Constitution, it means that each person should get equal, each person will get the equal protection of law all the person must be treated alike on reasonable classification. And how do we classify? On basis of that test. Among equal law should be equal and equally administered. The guarantee of equal protection applies against substantive as well as procedural laws. So this right is not an absolute right and is subject to an exception. What is that? On reasonable classification. So Article 14 forbids the class legislation, but it permits reasonable classification. Now, the two tests of classification are intelligible differentia, right? What does this says? The classification must be founded. The principle of equality, it just does not mean that every law must have a universal application to all persons who are not by the nature, attainment and or the circumstances in the same position. In that case, this principle of equality, in that case, law cannot have a universal application. So there is a varying need of different class of persons as they require different treatment. So for that case, the classification must be there on basis of intelligible differentia, which makes a difference, distinguishes person or thing that are grouped together from others left out of the group, and the differentia must have a rational nexus, which is the second test, with the object sought which has to be achieved by the statute in the question. Now what is this intelligible differentia? The classification must be founded on it which distinguishes those that are grouped together from other. So if there are these two groups, there has to be, the classification has to be done there intelligently. There have to be some difference in between these two groups. So the classification has to be founded on an intelligible differentia, which will divide, which will distinguish between the two groups. And when this this is done, there has to be a rational relation to the object which sought to be achieved by the act. So it is necessary that there must be nexus between the basis of classification and the object of the act. Basis of classification and object of the act, which will ultimately make the classification. Now, this was an old concept. Whatever I have told you till now was an old concept. Then came a case of E.P. Royappa, where a new doctrine was held, in which it was said that equality before law is the rule of law plus the natural justice. Plus there has to be natural justice. So this is a new doctrine. They said that classification on basis of this test would not be there. always. So a new doctrine was there for equality before law. It was held in this serious case E.P. Royappa versus State of Tamil Nadu. It is a landmark judgment. It was held that Article 14 is one of the pillars of the Indian Constitution and hence cannot be bounded by a narrow and flexible interpretation. Article 14 should thus be given the widest interpretation possible, which also includes the reasonableness and arbitrariness of certain provision of the legislation. Then came this Menka Gandhi case versus Union of India, where Supreme Court clearly ruled out that the room of arbitrariness. Article 14 strikes at arbitrariness in state action and ensure the fairness and equality of treatment. So these two cases are quite important, in which the concept of equality before law was changed. Then the principle of reasonableness, which logically as well as philosophically is an essential element of equality or non-arbitrariness, which pervades Article 14 like a brooding omnipresence. Rule of law, which permeates the entire fabric of the Indian Constitution, excludes arbitrariness. So this is all about arbitrariness and the fair and equal treatment, which was held under in the case of Menka Gandhi, and they ruled out the room of this arbitrariness. So that's it. This was all about Article 14. So we'll conclude it. I'll quickly revise it. What is important? Article 14 clause 1 is about equality before law, which is a negative concept which prohibits the unequal treatment, whereas Article 14 clause 2 is a positive concept which demands the equal treatment. See, one is prohibiting the unequal treatment, and in one case it is demanding the equal treatment. So that's all. And the two cases of E.P. Royappa, Menka Gandhi, and in which these tests were given, F.N. Balsara, State of Bombay versus F.N. Balsara, these three cases are important for this article, Article 14. In the next one, we'll do with Article 15 and also deal with few more cases. So thank you.